What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this SB Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm RD, flying solo tonight on this beautiful Monday. I just wanted to hop on, big weekend, big weekend for some guys on Sunday. So we're going to talk Sunday studs, preview a little Monday night football, have some Monday night miracles. We'll talk about what you need to win this week. But yeah, cheers. Just another beautiful, it's a long week, vacation / holiday for me here. I did have to work today. I got to work tomorrow, but, still just want to hop on. Wednesday might be a little out of hand on this show and on Strikeout Beer. It generally does. It's called, we do Drinksgiving every year. So we stay up kind of late, hang out to the wee hours of the night, but I've been thinking this year's going to be slightly different. I'm going to slightly just behave myself. How about that? So, all right, let's hop into it. I don't expect this string to be very long. Probably keep it about 15, 20 minutes and go from there. We're live on YouTube and X. Finally, we got the little check mark there on X, and now we can go live and whatnot from our computer here. But, go. All right, let's hop into it. Your top 5 quarterbacks this week. Tua Tagovailoa, baby, 39.65 PPR points. He threw 4 touchdowns, 317 yards. The man was on fire, absolute on fire. Now, they were playing they beat up on New England. They took advantage of their situation. But, he came out firing, dropped you almost a 40 burger, a couple points short, 35 points to be short to be exact. But number 2, Jaden Daniels. 39.15 points, 275 yards through the air, 74 yards on the ground, had a rushing touchdown, threw 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks. It was kind of a sloppy game. Who saw it coming, right? Dallas has nothing to play for. They can't even tank right. And they show up. They go to Washington, take on, just beat them in their own house. It's unfreaking believable. I couldn't believe it myself. And then you got Patty Mahomes. 37.45 points, threw for 269 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no pick six. Also ran it 5 times for 60 freaking yards, which is, I'm pretty sure, it's pretty high for him. But yeah, you talk about those 3 guys. I was going to say 3 above 35 points, but we got one more, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had 36.30 points, threw 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 340 yards. That's a lot for him. That's a ton for him. I think his over-under was set at 200 that day. So he crushed it. Also ran it 6 times for 33 yards. You can't argue with this guy. 4 guys. You had 4 studs this week that were above 35 points, and there was only one other guy in the 30s, and that's Mr. Sam Darnold. They played Chicago. He put up 32.40 points, 330 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no pick six. None of these guys had pick sixes except for Will Levis. He's a little bit further down the list, though. He did run it twice for -1 yard. I think that's a negative right there. Is my screen dirty? Nope, -1 yard. So, yeah, there's your studs at quarterback this week. Another wild-ass games, to be honest with you. Now, we can take a look at rankings and things like that later on, because I do want to kind of talk about just where these teams are at and, keep everybody a little bit relevant there. What is going on, Dylan? How are we, sir? It's good to see you in here. Now, as you slide over to the receiver position, you only had one guy above 30 points. You had several in the 20s, but we're going to start at number 5 on this list. A name that you know, a name that you love, but you cannot trust. You cannot play this man. I'll tell you what. There are 2 Chicago Bears in the top 5 studs, the Sunday Studs edition, 25 points or more in PPR formats. Keenan Allen is number 5, 25.60 points. What the hell's going on, right? 9 receptions, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a 40-yard reception too, so we get bonus points in our league for that. He had 15 freaking targets. 15 targets. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, you can't play him on a week-to-week basis. He's only rostered at 63% of leagues. I think I just dropped him to pick up a kicker in a league because I'm just kind of stacked, just what it is. His teammate, DJ Moore, coming in at number 4, 26.90. He's now rostered. He's rostered 95% of the league, so he's definitely around. He ran the ball for one time for 13 yards, but he had 7 receptions for 106 yards and a touchdown. He caught all his targets, 7 targets, and he got a 2-point conversion. So big day for Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore. He's won me championships. He won me last year's championship as well. When Justin Fields was there, him and DJ Moore had a nice rapport. Saw the ball a lot. I didn't take that off there. Sorry about that, but I didn't mean to leave it up there for so long. But Dylan, how are you doing this week? You got any wins, losses? You need some Monday night miracles? Let's move on over to Miami. Mr. Waddle. Jaden Waddle. Why am I saying it weird? Yeah. Jalen Waddle. Yeah. It's not rolling off the tongue like it usually does. 28.40 points, 8 receptions, 144 yards, a touchdown. He had 9 targets, so he only had 1 drop, 1 miss, whatever, that he couldn't reel in. But it's nice to see him back at it. One of the guys that's really taken in the shorts this year is Tyreek Hill. He's pretty much, him and CMC are the major busts of the year. My SB losing streak continues. Oh, yeah, you're going to lose tonight? I need to pull that up, and I probably will, because it's this league. This is our home league. This is something that the people we need to talk about as well. So I'll be sure to do that. Cortland Sutton, number 2, 29.70 points. He finally has a quarterback that's willing to throw the ball to him. This is a big mountain of a man, too. You should be getting this guy the ball at all times. He had 10 targets, reeled in 8 for 97 yards, had 2 touchdowns, but he wasn't the number 1 guy. Like I said, there was only one fella that was in the 30-plus points this week for wide receiver, and that's Mr. Jordan Addison. One of Allen's favorite players, 34.20 points. He's only rostered in 69% of leagues, so you can go find him in 31%, right? So 9 targets, 8 receptions, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 2 big plays, so he gets bonus points for us, 2 40-yard receptions. Ooh, buddy. 9 targets. All these guys, big target volume or whatever. But I think Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers had 15. He's an honorable mention. He's up in the 20s. But, you talk about just crazy target share. Puka had 13 targets. CeeDee Lamb had 12. So a lot of big numbers out there for receivers this week. And, I hate to be going. I think I went up against Jordan Addison. We're going to flip to running backs here because I went up against the number 1 running back this week. And it's not just a Sunday stud. It's like a super freaking Sunday stud. This guy is the best running back in the business. We're going to get to him shortly. We're going to start. We had 2 dudes from the 5-hole. 21.90 points, Mr. Tony Pollard and Mr. Aaron Jones. Buddy. Pollard, 24 attempts, 119 yards on the ground, had a touchdown, 3 receptions for 10 more yards. He was targeted 5 times out of the backfield. Aaron Jones, 22 attempts, 106 yards, a touchdown, 3 receptions for 23 yards. He had 4 targets. Both those dudes coming in tied for 5th for Sunday stud running back, 21.90 points. Number 4, Jahmyr Gibbs, 24.90 PPR points, 21 attempts, 90 yards on the ground, 2 tutties, had 3 receptions for 9 yards and 3 targets. The 3 targets, he reeled them all in. So good stuff there. Almost hitting the 25 mark. Now these next 3, they're, all above 25 points, below 30, because there is a gap. There's a hell of a gap this week. Number 3, Josh Jacobs. 28.60 points, 106 yards on the ground on 26 attempts. Tons of action. 3 touchdowns. He had the hat trick. He did get a target out of the backfield, didn't reel it in. He had no catches, no yards in the air. Hell of a game. They beat the brakes right off of San Francisco, but I don't know what a lot of people expected anyways, just because of the sole fact that, Brock Purdy was out. But yeah, it just, buddy. Number 2 at 29.10 points. Bucky Irving. That's right, folks. 12 attempts, 87 yards. He made good use of his limited carries. You're talking half of what these other guys had, and he still put up 87 yards. Had a touchdown, caught 6 balls out of the backfield for another 64 yards. You didn't know really what to think. You're like, all right, Rashad White's in the game. There's Bucky Irvin. First touchdown goes to Sean Tucker. It's like, what the hell's going? What are we doing here? But yeah, hell of a game for him. Really nice, and he's rostered in 76% of leagues, so he's available out there in a small amount. But if he's there, it might be worth picking up. He might be worth it. That's 6 targets though, and reeled all 6 of them in for 64 yards. That's just awesome. All right, your super Sunday stud. In every single category, this guy lit the world on fire again. Mr. Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles running back. Oh my God, 50.20 points, 26 attempts, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Tack on four more receptions for 47 yards. Now, he had 2 40-yard attempts. He gets the bonus for that. He reeled in all 4 of his targets. He had like a 73, 72-yard rush as well. I mean, this guy was absolutely lights out. I could not believe what I was watching. I mean, dude, you get out of New York, you go to Philly. Everybody, they try to downplay him like, oh, he's going to Philly. He's upgrading his offensive line. Got a better quarterback, but he's going to lose, the tush push and this and that on the goal line. And he gives up some touchdowns to Jalen Hurts, but this guy is just making it. I mean, he is amazing. Best running back in the league right now, I think by far. Woo, you've finally seen his potential, right? You've been waiting, been on the frickin' Giants, just a dumpster fire of a team, and here you go. So there you go. He is your absolute Sunday stud. All right, moving on to tight ends. You got. Well, I was going to go T to B. But let's go B to T, all right? Listen, I've got to draw a line because number 5 only had 18.40 points. That's Hawkinson. Congratulations. Whatever. 7 receptions, 114 yards. I don't consider that a stud. You got to get in the 20s. You got to be in those 20s, especially for the company I'm about to talk about. George Kittle, 20.20 points. 6 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown. He reeled in every single one of his targets. Perfect that day. Hey, Brandon Allen can only throw the ball. He's not Brock Purdy. So I was excited to see Kittle get some action. I really was. So I was very, very happy with the production, even with a backup quarterback. Number 3, Noah Gray, Kansas City Chiefs tight end. 4 receptions, 66 yards. I mean, the 4 catches, that doesn't seem like a lot, right? And the yardage, 66, but he had 2 tutties. 2 touchdowns, put him in the top 3. He caught all his targets, no drops in that category. He's rostered in 4% of leagues. He's out there, but this isn't going to be a week in, week out thing. It is what it is, right? So, but he had a hell of a week. I was glad to see him pop off there. I did want to check one thing out because this is his second week. Last week he had 18.30 points. This week 22.6. And then next week they have Las Vegas. They're at home. Could he keep the double-digit run going? He only hit double digits once in the 7th week 7. So what do we got here? How's it going? Duncan's in the house. How are we doing, Duncan? Well, it's like 40 degrees outside. It's about 100 in my house, so I'm sweating, just sweating. I don't know what my deal is, but Noah Gray, hey, I can't wait to see if you can bring it back one more week. Number 2, Jonnu Smith, 23.70 points. He actually had a rushing attempt, but didn't go anywhere. No yards. 9 receptions on 11 targets, 87 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, this guy, back-to-back weeks. Last week was 30 points. This week, 23. He's popped off a 22-point game again, or previously on week 7. But, yeah, it looks like it's Jonnu Smith's show, man. We're just here. We're just living in it, right? They have a pretty well-balanced run attack, pass attack. Tua looks good. Smith, I think, is a must-play going forward. Waddle did good. Oh, yes, he did do good. He did. I was so happy. I had to slide Waddle in because one league I'm in, I drafted all Bengals. And so, I drafted all Bengals in, but I had some other spare players and whatnot to kind of round out my lineup. And I put Waddle in. I was like, get in there, buddy. I need you this weekend. And, he came through. He came through for me. Real nice. Your number 1 tight end of the week, the only player above 25 points, McBride. 25.30. 12 receptions on 15 targets, 133 yards. The only thing he didn't do was get in the end zone. I mean, but Arizona sucked bad. It was kind of a tough game to watch anyways. Seattle wins like 16-6. It was just an ugly game for Arizona. It really was. So out of these three guys, these five top tight ends that I mentioned, Okonkwo had a great day. He's actually worth mentioning here. He had 16 points. He's only rostered in 5% of leagues, right? Austin Hooper was in at 15.90 points. He's rostered in 0% of leagues. Like, you can go pick these guys up. And the guy I always try to roll with on bye weeks and whatnot, Zach Ertz. So Noah Gray, again, 4% of leagues. Jonnu Smith, 70% of leagues, but obviously Trey McBride, 99. Kittle, 100. Hawkinson's at 86. So some of these guys are available. Some of them are not. But, hey, Duncan, how's your week going, your matchup? Are you going to win? You going to pull it out, or you need a Monday night miracle? We're going to move over to kickers. It'll be kind of quick. I'm going to only give you two studs this week. Nick Folk, Tennessee, 21 points. He had 3 50-plus field goals. He made 3 PATs. He got you 21 points. Will Lutz, the man, the myth, the legend, just keeps knocking it out of the park. 27 points. He had 2 between 30 and 39 yards, 1 40 to 49, 2 50-plus, and made 2 PATs. He is your kicking stud of the week. Defenses, I think we're going to go down to we'll do top 5, because I think if you get into double digits, it's worth a mention. If you get above 15, it's worth absolutely talking about. So let's go. 2 teams tied for fourth position. Yeah. Miami and Green Bay, 16 points each. Miami, obviously took care of business against New England. Green Bay, they beat, San Francisco very well. I mean, San Francisco only put up 10 points. So, Green Bay, 2 sacks, interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 fourth down stops, gave up 241 yards. For Miami, they had 4 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, had was it 2 or 4? 2 fourth down stops, and gave up 269 yards. Moving up, Houston. I thought Houston was going to be the team to have this week, to be honest with you. Houston was playing Tennessee. They put up 19 points. You had 8 sacks, 8 freaking sacks. I think they led the week in sacks. 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries, and then they actually scored a touchdown too. This is like back-to-back weeks where Houston has just done really good. Now, they're getting favorable matchups, obviously. But, they scored 27 points against Dallas last week. So Houston's looking good. If you want to look ahead, they play Jacksonville, and then they're on a bye week. Then they have Miami, Kansas City, and Baltimore. So if you've been streaming them or you're playing with them, it's pretty much the runs come to an end. I don't know if you're going to play them, against Miami, Kansas City, or Baltimore, but make wise decisions. Dallas, number 2. 22 freaking points against Washington. I don't know how the hell they won this game. I don't know why they even tried to win this game. That's Dallas for you, right? They can't even tank right. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery. They allowed 412 yards and had 2 touchdowns. Dallas defense had 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. Now I think, was it Turpin? Turpin's 99-yard run back or whatever it was so ridiculous. Like, he spun move for no reason, and then just they like confused the coverage team so much that they just like, what the hell's going on? And then he just took off. I mean, he was gone. And they tied. They tied for first. They had 2 teams at 22 points. Seattle had 22. They are in the number 1 spot here for rankings for this week. They had 5 sacks, interception, a touchdown, 1 fourth down stop, and only allowed 298 yards. So good stuff. You had about 10 teams, I think, in double digits, but these teams definitely outperformed kind of what they were supposed to do. It was good to see. Not bad at all. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's game. You obviously have the Chargers and Baltimore. Baltimore's at LA. I gotta hustle up because I'm actually gonna go watch this game. So tonight, I mean, you're playing your studs, right? I don't know anybody that you're gonna bench. You're definitely playing Lamar Jackson. He's right now scheduled for us 28.25 fantasy points. Derrick Henry 17.77. I always lay a little cheddar down on an anytime touchdown score on Derrick Henry because he just scores touchdowns, right? Now, if you take a look at Lamar, he struggled against Pittsburgh, which I don't get it, right? I don't know what the hell's going on with Pittsburgh. Like, I don't get it. But anyhow, 45 against Cincy, 34 against Denver, 31, 51. I mean, the guy scores points. Now, he does kind of struggle against middle-of-the-road teams. You might get 25, you might get 35, somewhere in that range. That's kind of where I expect him to be. Probably high 20s is where he's going to end up tonight. I think right now he's QB1 in this format. So, yeah, he's doing amazing. He's thrown for 2,876 yards. He's got 25 passing touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 584 yards on the ground. Looking at Derrick Henry, he usually – they project him to have 13, 15, 16, 18 points. And let's be honest, like last week, he only put up 10. Week before that, only 14. Against Denver, though, 26. Cleveland, 14. Tampa Bay, 27. Washington, 25. So he can boom. Against tough defense, a little bit, not so much, right? But the guy, 17th ranked, he's – I guess it's season ranked. He's not 17th ranked running back, is he? Oh, God, I don't know what Yahoo's doing to me right now. 1,185 yards on the ground, 13 touchdowns, 10 receptions for 96 yards, has 2 touchdowns receiving. So the dude's a touchdown machine. Like I said, anytime touchdown score, I'd put money on that every single week. Thoughts on JT? Who's JT? You mean Jonathan Taylor? I assume that's what we're talking about. I got to go back to my running backs. Would he get hurt? Or are you just talking about in general? Now I got to look. I don't mind slowing down, stopping what I'm doing here. Don't mind. Oh, him just being a low scoring? Yeah. I assume that's who you meant, but I just wanted to double check. Coming out of the gate, it's tough for him, right? Coming out of the gate this year, he was, 10, 15, 26, 19 points, 18, dip at 9. Bounce back with 16, then 7, and then 3. You have to understand, the Jets have a tough defense. Detroit has a pretty good defense as well. They're about to go up against New England. Then they are on a bye week. Then they have Denver, Tennessee, and the Giants. I'm playing them. Obviously, week 16, week 17. But he's just, you know what I mean? He's not targeting the passing game. Anthony Richardson, I thought he looked good. Last week and this week, he kind of had some problems, Jonathan Taylor, he's only got 708 yards on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns, 13 receptions for 111 yards. He's got no receiving touchdowns either. He's RB2 at this point, You might have drafted him as an RB1, and now he's just an RB2. It sucks, too, because I like him a lot. I was just asking if he was hurt. I was just like, was he hurt? But, crazy stuff. Zay Flowers, he's one that I have to play tonight. Would I play him if I didn't have to? No, I'd bench him. He's just, right now, he's slumping a little bit. 11 points or almost 12 points the past week, 7 points the week before. He had 31 against Denver, 18 against Cleveland, 4 before that, 24 against Washington, 19 against Cincy, 2 before that, 5 before that. It's just a roller coaster of hell with him. He's got 79 targets, 52 receptions, 727 yards, 4 receiving receptions. It seems like every time, you're like, oh, I'm going to play him, Bateman goes off, right? And what the hell's going on with Deontay Johnson? He was doing better in Carolina. Yeah, I'm sure he's glad to get out of Carolina and play for a good team, but, come on. Michael Lopez in the house, how are we doing? Okay, have to go. Thanks, man. Have a good game tonight. Yeah, have a great game. Good luck to you. Get that dub this week. What is going on, everybody? Saquon and A.J. Brown carried me this week. Dude, Jonathan. Woo, Saquon, 50 points. A.J. Brown had a hell of a game, too. Great stuff. They're definitely Saquon obviously made the list for Sunday studs. Also, thoughts on Jefferson and how bad he's doing. I don't want to talk about him, mainly because I have him. And it's not like he's doing bad. They're just not getting – some weeks they're just not getting him the ball, right? Like, it seems like – Addison is definitely reaping the benefits of them having to pay a lot of attention to Justin Jefferson. He's had almost 20 points every single week going into, the 10th week. He had 9. Last week he had 14. This week he had 4. Chicago does have a kind of, decent defense. But think about this. You got Arizona, Atlanta. Those two, those are bounce back games for him for sure. Then you got to play Chicago again, but you're at home. Then you got Seattle and Green Bay to finish out the season. But he hasn't lived up to the hype, and I know, but he's good. There's no doubt on his play, right? You get him, they got to get him the ball. Sam Darnold's a quarterback, so If Sam Darnold didn't get him the ball, ain't nothing he could do, right? He's got 91 targets this year, 30 or 61 receptions, so 30 passes that didn't get into those mitts of his. 939 receiving yards, 5 reception touchdowns. So I mean, yeah, it's down. He's down this year, but again, it all comes down to, can you get him the ball? And with Jordan Addison, we're talking about him. It's like about every other week he pops off. This week he's done great last 2 weeks though. 17, but then he was 34 this week, so he doubled up his dough there for Addison. So Addison's getting a lot of looks right now. I expect it to kind of go back to normal, and yes, sir, got your dub. Nice. Oh yeah, man. I love it. I love it when y'all get your dubs. I lucked out with Jonnu Smith, dude. I told him, man, my wife's got him in her league. She plays him every single time. She goes, yeah, no, he's in the lineup. I was like, all right, good. And, of course, our league is, like, super crazy scoring. So, he'll get you, like, 30, 40 points or something like that. As Mark Andrews tonight, he's a guy that I don't know if I'm playing, but he does good, like, every other week, right? So he slumped last week at 4. So I expect a bounce-back week, just like, the last time he scored 4 points, the week after he scored 18, right? Weekend before that, 14. So he's kind of bouncing around. From where you drafted him, you're definitely playing him. Unless you have another option. Just sucks because I mean Andrews, man. Alan and I used to fight over him all the time. Like, who's going to get him, and like how high are you willing to go to take him? So, and then let's flip over to Chargers. I think Chargers have a real good chance of winning this game. I'm looking forward to it. Herbert's looking good. They've been doing really well. Let's go ahead and go through this, and we'll look at the actual standings, the rankings, and whatnot. What we got here? Was waiting to hear the word on Roquan. Definitely glad he is out running with Dobbins and McConkey tonight. Yeah. I need Dobbins. I need help from Dobbins. I've got some. I'll tell y'all my lineup problems I got. So Justin Herbert, obviously he's slated to have 24.54 points. He's been exceeding expectations for the last 4 weeks. So we're hoping for the same thing, right? 31 points last week against Cincy, 23 points against Tennessee, 28 against Cleveland, 34 against New Orleans. Before that, he was really close in Arizona, 20 points. But I think now he's finding his group. He's healthy. That's the key, right? He was available in like most leagues. It seemed like last week. I was like, you know what? I'm going to scoop him up. I need him for fill-in because I got Burrow out. But yeah, I mean, think about it. He's got Baltimore this week. He's got Atlanta next week. Kansas City, Tampa Bay, he's going to be putting up some points. So I expect him to almost, let's say, high 20s, low 30s tonight. McConkey, obviously, they've scheduled him. They've projected him at 14.53 points. He kind of hits or mitts. He's in spurts. You know what I mean? But with the target share, there's just nothing you can do about it, right? 9 targets last week. Now 2 the week before in Tennessee, 7 the week before that in Cleveland. 6 in New Orleans. And the cool thing is he reels in most of his targets. And that's the thing. With Herbert getting more accurate and he's healthy, he's reeling in a lot of his targets. Now, last week, they had 9, but he reeled in 6 for 123. Hasn't scored a touchdown in 4 weeks. This will be the 5th week, I guess. But he had 2 in week 8 and then 1 in week 4. Expect good things out of him. I've got the over on his receiving yards tonight, and I've got him dialed up in my lineup too. Next, J.K. Dobbins. I need a big week from him. I do. I really freaking do. I don't care if it's a late touchdown like last week. I don't care. I need points. And he's been getting touchdowns pretty damn good, right? So last week, 18.90, 11 carries, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. Usually he gets a little bit more receptions, but last week just 1 reception. The week before that, 3 receptions. But, yeah, you need him to get in the end zone. 2 weeks ago, he had 2 touchdowns against Cleveland. 14 attempts, 85 yards. I need the tutties. I need the receptions. I need it tonight. And also I have Quentin Johnson. I'm in bye week hell. I know. I got it. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. And he's been hitting double digits last 3 weeks since he got back, healthy and whatnot. 24 against Cleveland, 10 points against Tennessee, 12 against Cincy. I'm hoping for a decent game. He had 8 targets last week and only reeled in 2 of them. So just reel in just a couple more of those. I mean, you did have a touchdown. You had 48 yards. Week before that, 2 for 24 and 1 touchdown. It was a garbage time touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Week before that, 4 receptions for 118 yards. So, but yeah, I need Quentin Johnson to have a game. I just need it to be an effing shootout, I think, because I'll be honest, I got Saquon this week, right? The dude his whole team kind of sucks, and then all of a sudden Saquon goes off. I was already popping the champagne, baby. I was like, I got this baby in the bag. I didn't even look to see that he had Saquon left, and then I happened to look at it late at night. I was like, son of a bitch, I can't believe it. I'm thinking he'll break for one tonight. Dobbins, I hope so. I hope it's a nice little 60-yard run. That's what I hope, Michael. So that's pretty much. I mean, Disley's in the game as well. He's a free agent in most leagues. So if you're like last minute, I need someone. He's projected for 10 points. He got you 18 last week. He caught 4 of 6 targets last week, 5 of 6 the week before. So it's Disley season. It's time to, if you need your streaming tight end or something like that, and you're coming all the way down to the final, get it while you can. Get him while you can, because don't have Palmer dialed up tonight. Not sure what he's going to do, but I need Johnston. I need Dobbins. I need Herbert. I need some action. I need some love. I need some love, fellas, for sure. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to take a look real quick since I already got Yahoo Fantasy Sports up. I do want to talk about the SB Fantasy Football League real quick. Where the hell is my matchup? I look at it all the time, like say on I look at it on my phone all the time. Okay, so looks like I'm going to win this week in this league. Put up 223 points versus Tracy. It's 186. Now he's got who's he got tonight? Mark Andrews, right? So as long as Mark Andrews doesn't score 50 points or whatever, I should be okay. It's my other league, my other home league with all our friends and stuff like that I need a lot of help. And let's real quick, we're going to take a look at the league. And just kind of want to talk. So that game's going on. I'm in like 9th place in this league. I have struggled all season long. I'm about to take down the number 3 guy. I'm so excited about it. Just Michael Henson, he's beating the brakes off of Allen this week. Allen's probably going to fall another game down. He's probably going to take my place in the 9 hole. Old School and Lizzie's going to be in last place again. She's going to stay down there for a couple more weeks because Old School's just tattooing her right now, putting up 346 points. He's at 333 right now, so he is going to be your leader of the week. And then his wife, Royal Klutz, at 269 against Lee at 259. So you have right now they're 252 and 259. Lee's done. Royal Klutz is predicted to score about 17 points tonight to take the lead and take the win. To get her out. She's in the 10th hole, so it's good. It's time to start hitting some of these higher ranked players, bring them down a notch. As Dylan was in here earlier, he's in 2nd place. He's 8-3, but it looks like he's going to lose to my cousin, Bluegrass Holes. Hey, wait, no, yeah, he's going to hit 370, so he's the big dog this week. I thought it was Old School, but here comes Cuzzo. He's projected for 370 points. Whoo, buddy. And then you got Jay and Mike. Mike pretty much has already taken care of business against Jay. So, as the standings sit right now, you got the Disputed, Barry Badgernath, Flying Butt Monkeys, A Pirate Looks 40, I Love Only Fantasy Football, Bluegrass Holes, Old School, Allen, My Team Sucks, that's me, Royal Klutz, OG, SOB, and Sacks in the City. So, I keep telling Lizzie, I'm like, don't worry, you just get another win, get another stack, whatever. But yeah, she's lost 4 in a row. I feel bad for her, had just terrible luck at quarterback this year, and then obviously with running back as well. Just injuries piling up on her. It is what it is, right? You just got to take your lumps and go on with it. But, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams at 5-6. So technically right now she's still only she's only 2 games back. She's going to fall 1 more game back, obviously, with another loss. But, we'll see. It's a 12-team league. It's kind of tough. We're going to shake things up next year, and we'll invite some new followers, new listeners, new subscribers into that league. Obviously, Patreon subscribers get priority. Strikeoutbeer.com, or is it patreon.com/strikeoutbeer. You get in for as little $3, get bonus content from Strikeout Beer, some picks, some other things, and then obviously you get into a free entry into our fantasy football league. What do we got here? All counts the same. I'm sitting Chargers D just in case. I'm telling you, I've done it before. Somebody asked me about that last week. I don't know if it was you or if it was someone else, but they mentioned the fact that would we ever bench a defense going into the final game or whatever? If you're already winning, I go, yeah, I would. And so somebody was made a fuss about it. They're like, well, no, that's an illegal lineup. I go, if the league allows it, I'm doing it. Why the hell would I? I had a team put up. Was it the Cowboys last week? Or the week before, something like that, -4 points. It might have been Cincinnati, like -4 points. It's like, holy crap, dude, that can cause a loss, So as it sits right now in the NFL, if you actually, what is it, 35 minutes? I actually got to get the hell out of here. You know what? Yeah, I can't do it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the Strikeout Beer Reel that I posted on October 28th. I think it was October 28th or 26th. It's Bill O'Reilly flipping out. That video went viral. It was just a reel, and it was like talking about every time I flip out that we can't, we have to record something, but then we're like, F it, we'll do it live. It's got almost 600,000 views, like 7,000 reactions. So go over there and react to it just to keep it going. It blew up this weekend. It went from 8,000 views on Saturday morning, I think, to 600,000 views to like last night, so it's crazy. It's bonkers. I'm the leader scoring, but don't want to leave nothing on the board or get it taken away for a shootout. I'm telling you, yeah, I'm the leading scorer in 2 of my leagues, and I don't want any BS, to be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with, being conservative and prudent when it comes to certain, decisions, you know what I'm saying? And tonight, it could absolutely be a shootout. You got 2 of the best freaking teams on the field. The Chiefs out of the AFC West are 7-3. The Ravens are 7-4 out of the North. The Ravens scored 334 points. That's how many points they've scored this year. Now the Chargers are a little bit lower, obviously, because they started off so bad. They're, like I said, they're rolling a 4-game winning streak, but they've only scored 220 points. But they've done it here the past handful of weeks. So I'm expecting a shootout. I'm actually going to go in there right now, watch the game. If you're listening to this or you're watching this on YouTube or X, thank you so much for being here. If you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen to your podcast, and you want to interact with the stream, when we go live, come check us out over there on YouTube and X. You can ask some questions, make some suggestions, talk some mess. Hey, we're here to have fun, and that's going to do it for me. I'm RD. Michael, good luck this week. I hope you get that dub. Jonathan, I hope you get that dub if you haven't already. Some people weeks are already sewn up. But mine's coming down to tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Duncan, I hope you win as well. Dylan, my man, take it easy. You guys have a great week. We'll see you Wednesday. Adios.